Right now, somewhere in your agency, someone is using an AI tool. Not because you authorized it, not because there's a policy covering it, because it is free, it is available, and it makes their work easier. And leadership has not said a word about it. That is not a technology problem, that is a leadership gap. And the longer it stays open, the more expensive it gets to close. Let me be direct about what happens in agencies that never have a formal AI conversation with their command staff. Informal use spreads. Officers use the AI tools for report writing. Dispatchers use them for documentation. Supervisors use them for emails and memos. Nobody is coordinating. Nobody is setting boundaries. Nobody is asking whether any of this is appropriate. It just happens, quietly, gradually, and completely outside any oversight structure you've built. Then something goes wrong. A report that contains an AI generated detail that was never accurate. A defense attorney raises AI as a discovery issue. A personnel matter surfaces that involves AI generated documentation. And now leadership is responding, not leading. The question that gets asked in that moment is one you never want to answer. Why did your agency have no policy on this? Why did command staff not know this was happening? Why was there no training, no guidance, no briefing? The honest answer, in agencies that never had the conversation, is that nobody ever made it a priority. That answer is not acceptable, and it is entirely preventable. Some agency leaders will say, "We've talked about AI. We've mentioned it in roll call. We sent an email." That's not a briefing. A mention is not policy. An email is not training. A brief comment at roll call does not constitute leadership on this issue. Here's what a formal command staff briefing actually does. That informal conversations cannot. It creates a shared understanding at the leadership level. When your command staff has sat through the same briefing, they have the same frame of reference, they understand the same risks, they have heard the same questions answered, they are aligned. Without that, every supervisor is making their own judgment call about what is acceptable and what is not. Every unit has a different standard, and leadership has no consistent position. It documents that leadership took this seriously. In the event of a legal challenge, a policy dispute, or an internal investigation, the fact that you briefed your command staff on AI readiness is a meaningful data point. It did not happen by accident, it happened because leadership prioritized it, and it signals to your agency that this is a leadership issue, not just a technology curiosity. When command staff has been briefed, the message travels down. This matters. Leadership is paying attention. There are expectations. That signal does not exist when the conversation never happens. A command staff AI briefing is not a technology lecture. It is a leadership conversation. It covers what AI actually is and what it is not, in plain language that command staff can act on. Not technical deep dives, not vendor presentations. Practical, operational framing. It covers where AI is ready, showing up, and public safety. The specific use cases your people are encountering right now, whether leadership knows about them or not. It covers the risks that matter most to your agency: documentation integrity, data privacy, legal exposure, supervision gaps, and the civil rights implications of certain AI applications. It covers what responsible use looks like, the chain of accountability, the role of human review, and the boundaries leadership needs to define before broad adoption spreads further. And it covers what the practical next steps are. Not a 200-page policy document, but a clear, actionable direction that leadership can communicate and enforce. A properly delivered briefing gives your command staff a shared foundation, not confusion, not speculation, not each commander making it up as they go. A shared foundation. That is why the conversation needs to accomplish, and that is what a formal briefing delivers. Here is something worth saying. Not every AI briefing is equal. A briefing delivered by a technology vendor has built-in bias toward their product, their framing, their solution. A briefing built on generic AI content has no public safety context, no understanding of the specific legal landscape, operational pressures, or accountability structures that make your environment different from a corporate boardroom. An effective command staff AI briefing for public safety requires someone who understands both the technology side, what AI actually does, where it fails, what the real risks are, and the public safety side, how these risks play out in an agency environment, what the legal and liability implications are, and what leadership needs to hear in language that matches how they actually lead. That combination is not common, but it is exactly what separates a briefing that changes how your command staff thinks about this issue from one that fills 60 minutes and gets forgotten by Thursday. WebBotIQ Public Safety delivers AI readiness briefings specifically for law enforcement and public safety command staff. Practical, leadership focused, built around the specific risks, use cases, and governance questions that matter in your environment. Not a vendor pitch, not a technology lecture, a command level conversation that gives your leadership team the foundation they need to lead on this issue before it leads them. If you're ready to brief your command staff, visit the link in the description, webbotiq.com/public-safety. If this was useful, subscribe. New videos every Friday covering AI and public safety leadership. And if you know a sheriff, chief, or command staff member who has been putting this conversation off, send them this video. The briefing your agency need is not complicated, but it does need to happen. I will see you on the next one.